Hey folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and let's make a pair of earrings today using our March Art Deco Luxe bead box from Bargain Bead Box. This one is pretty simple, but I think they're going to be really cute. Let's turn down and we'll get started on them. What I have here is a couple of inches, 3 inches of wire, a couple of delicate little ball head pins, some bead wires, some spacers from my stash, and a couple of delicate little glass pearls from my stash. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the larger of the 2 glass pearls on the bottom, then a spacer, and then the tiny little one. And that's going to fit right in here. And then above that, we're going to put a wire here, and then we're going to put in one of the pearls, a spacer, one of these little, they call them drops, but they're sort of like a pear shape, a spacer, and one of these black rondelles. So what we need to do first is spin this little guy up. It's tiny, so we don't want to have too big of a spin on him, so we're gonna just grab it right there at the very tip of my pliers to do our bend. We'll get our up and around and over. Bring him around, straighten it out some. Then we'll grab it with our pliers. Bring a second plier and wrap this little guy up. Okay, there's step number 1 done. So what's going to happen is this is going to go right here, and this one is going to come and make the loop that goes around in here for this guy to hook onto, and then it's going to go up and the other beads will hook onto it. So we want to first make our loop. And I'm going to use the second size, I think, because we want a slightly bigger loop because we're going to go through a few different things there. Now, I'm not going to get much wrapping out of that, and I realize that, so that's fine. We need this to be open just a hair's breadth because we're going to push this on. Well, first we're going to put our little pearls on. Then we're going to put this on. Push it through and around, and then it's going to sit there, as you can see, like so. Now we want to grab our wires, and we want to wrap this up. It's probably only going to let us have 1 wrap, maybe 2. I'm hoping for 2 because one doesn't look as pretty. So now that we have those on, you can see how pretty that's going to look there. We want to just put on our other beads. Now you can skip these spacers if you want. Not sure it even needs them, to be truthful, but we'll put them in just because. But I don't think we're going to put this one in. So now the next thing we need to do is just wrap it so we can put our ear wire in. And because the ear wire wants to go this way, we want our loop to go this direction. So we take hold, bend her over. We're going to go with the smaller loop this time because it only has to have the ear wire in it. Up and around, bring her down, bring her around, and straighten her out. Didn't straighten her quite all the way. It looks crooked still. There we go. Now, this is the front here. So we want to make sure that we feed our earring in backwards. Our ear wire, I should say, onto the loop. And come around, darling. I know I left you open some, so you should have enough space. Now we may have to open it just a hair's breadth more. It doesn't seem to want to let our ear wire go through. There we go. And now it's facing this direction the way it should be. There's our pretty little earring. Now we need to grab our wires and bring them around and wrap her up. And it looks like I have just enough wires so that I don't have to trim anything off. So there is earring number 1. Isn't that special? That turned out quite cute, I think. So now we need to do the exact same thing to the other one to finish it off. So let's put our earring slightly to the side here so we can see it, but it's not in our way. And then we will dump our pieces out for the other one, and we will start getting it ready to go. So we need this first pearl. Oops, not the ear wire. We can go up there. Then one of the smaller spacers and the teeny tiny pearl. Okay, so now we got that down here. We want to make our teeny weeny little bend with it right there at the very tip of our pliers. Bend her over. Bring our bell making pliers, get our tiny one up and over and around, down. Oop. And around. Looks like we're pretty good right there. Oh no, we're not. We're bent over that way too much, so let's get her back over here some. Now we'll grab it with our pliers and we'll wrap this little guy up. Come on, stop being such a stubborn little one. Looks like that's as far as we want to go, so we'll trim this wire off. And tuck it in. There's that. And we'll get this one and we'll go, and it's got to bend. And then we used the second, if you'll recall, because we're going through both of those pieces and we want them to swing a little bit. So up and around and over, and bring her and leave a gap as you bring her on. And I don't think I left a big enough gap for that piece, so we're going to just open it some like you would a jump ring. Feed in the little pearls, and then the teardrop. Come on, you go all the way around. There we go. So there it is. Now we'll grab it with our pliers. And we want it to go around 2 times. Now when you're working with this smaller size of wire, or a smaller piece of wire, you might need to do what I call the push-pull method, which when you get it to the point where it doesn't want to pull anymore, you have to push it. This one wants to wiggle around, so I'm going to have to get down here, and we're going to bring it like so. And now we will give it a little bit more of a tuck because it's really bumping up there. Come on, stop being so difficult. Okay, that's better. Straighten this a little bit here. And now we're going to feed on our beads. So, spacer, pearl, spacer. This one I call a pair because it's got one side's bumped up a little more. Make sure we get it the same direction as the other one, which I just did. And then our rondelle. Now we want to put our ear wire on, and in order to do that, of course, we need to, my little pearl flipped around. We need to make sure that we have our top going the right way. So we want it to go this way. So bring that over, get our small, bring it around and over and down and over here again, and straighten her up. Now I don't think I left enough space to get the ear wire in, so we'll open that a little bit. Then we're going to feed our ear wire in, and we're going to feed it in backwards. And that is because when it comes around, it turns around and goes forward. So now we want to just wrap this baby up. So we'll flip this and get our second pair of pliers and wrap our loops. And there's our second earring. Earrings both done. Aren't those pretty? I really liked how they turned out. So there we go. There is our really cute little earrings made from the Bargain Bead Box Art Deco Luxe. I really like them. I think they turned out really great, just the way I wanted them. They're a little shorter than I normally wear, but hey, not everybody likes a long pair of earrings. So, even though I do. So there we go. Aren't those pretty? This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we have been making these beautiful earrings with the Bargain Bead Box for March Art Deco Luxe. We'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed these. Bye-bye.